President, I have 5:30.
Good evening. We'd like to welcome everybody to the June 8th regular school board meeting. And it's neat to have this many people here. And I know it'll empty out once all the recognition is done, but it's still neat to have this many people here. So, Mr. Philo, could you call roll, please?
Ms. Landon.
Here.
Mrs. Malad.
Here.
Mr. Steininger.
Here.
Mr. McCord.
Here.
Mr. Browning.
Here. Next is the Pledge of Allegiance. If we could stand, please. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next on the agenda is to approve the agenda as presented. Get a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second. Mr. Philo?
Ms. Landon.
Yes.
Mr. Steininger.
Yay.
Mrs. Malad.
Yes.
Mr. McCord.
Yay.
Mr. Browning.
Yes, motion carries. Next is to approve the minutes of the Thursday, May 4th regular meeting and the Wednesday, May 17th special meeting. We can get a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Philo?
Mr. McCord.
Yes.
Mrs. Malad.
Yes.
Ms. Landon.
Yes.
Mr. Steininger.
Yay.
Mr. Browning.
Yes, motion carries. Next on the agenda are board reports and good of the order. Wendy, would you like to start?
Sure. We'd like to thank the Fairborn Police Department for their support of Fairborn City Schools and the Safety City program. SRO Walker, Mrs. Meter, and Mr. Frank Meter are helping students learn about safety on the school bus and the police and fire safety. Fairborn City Schools appreciates their partnership for our youngest Skyhawks. I'd also like to say congratulations to our 2023 graduates. It was an honor to be part of everyone's special day, and I'd like to wish them good luck to all of our graduates in the future. Thank you.
Sure. All right, so I just want to give a shout out to our teachers and school staff for a successful end of the school year. Getting the buildings locked down, closed up, sending kids out is never easy, packing up classrooms. So, thank you for all of your hard work towards the end of the school year. I have a little announcement here about the City Schools Summer Lunch Program is available, started this week, June 5th, and will run through the end of July 28th. There are several locations where kids can eat. At the intermediate school from 11 to 11:30, at the Fairborn Library, same time, 11 to 11:30, at Baker Middle School from 11:45 to 12:45, at Christ Our Hope Church from 11:45 to 12:15, at Rona Missionary Church from 12:30 to 1, Central Park and the splash pads, you can stop in and have a little fun after your lunch, 1:15 and 1:45, and at Xenia Station Park and splash pad, 1:15 and 1 to 1:45. So if your family is in need of food for children this summer, please take advantage of that and use that service. Thank you.
First of all, thank you to, again, all the graduates. We were out in Wright State and had our part in the graduation. A lot of good kids and excited kids. And it's always good to see them as they leave in their last day and their last performance and their last, thing in high school as they go on. They're excited and we're excited for them. So we thank them for their 12 years of service in education and, we wish them the best. Also, the Fairborn Football Foundation will hold a golf scramble at the Beaver Creek Golf Course on June 19th at 8 a.m. Proceeds benefit the Fairborn football program. And for registrations, information, visit the FCS website at the www.fairborn.k12.oh.us. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Again, as we've said, thank you very much. Really had a great time at the graduation. I think the kids had a good time. My sense was they were just excited and glad. Participated very well in that activity. It's good to be a part of it. I want to thank all the staff members who worked so hard to make that possible. A lot of work goes into that activity. A lot of hours go into making that happen. And also into all the activities and award ceremonies that led up to that, concerts and other activities that go into graduation. So I want to thank everyone for their hard work in making that possible.
I'd like to start with our junior ROTC program. Helped support a golf outing. It's the Los Amigos golf outing. It was the 6th annual outing, and they worked with ROTC programs throughout Greene County, and it's to raise money to give opportunities to go to air camp, which is a big deal for them. So that was a neat event. I got to go to the FIS. We talk a lot about the high school, middle school, high school music programs, but at the intermediate now, we have a new music teacher that's introduced a lot of new music concepts, and he's phenomenal. And I got to go to the intermediate music program that was actually here at the high school, and that was such a fun program. Seeing the excitement of the kids and the excitement of Chad Guess, who is the music teacher now. I see somebody shaking their head. Yeah, it's awesome. Went to the BMS awards also, and it's neat seeing the kids that are at the middle school that are now getting ready to come to the high school. And you know, when you watch those awards and those programs and stuff, there's a lot of good kids that are getting ready to come to the high school. So we'll be prepared for them here. They mentioned graduation. That's such a fun event for me. And if you look at the pictures, all 5 of us were smiling as we handed out the diplomas, and that was genuine. It's a lot of fun to be able to give the kids the diplomas. And then Katie mentioned the end of the school year. You know, we still have staff that's in the building doing things, and especially custodial staff, maintenance staff. A lot of their work actually happens over the summer to get the building ready. So we want to thank them for everything they do over the summer while everybody else is off doing things. So with that, we'll go ahead and go to recognition of public visitors or comments.
Mr. President, I don't have anything. I have nobody signed up for
Okay.
public comment.
Then we will go to the school district presentations, which I think that's what everybody's here for.
Thank you, Mr. Lonnie. It is with excitement that I see our students here, a lot of students here tonight, along with their families. It's easy to listen to all the negative things in our society today, but when I see what's out here tonight and what you're going to be recognized for tonight, that says a lot about you, your parents, the support that you have at home, and what you do every night when you go home to study and to prepare for the subject at hand that you're going to be recognized tonight. I want to recognize our teachers, the outstanding job that they're doing, and a big reason why you're here tonight and going to get recognized. So without any further ado, there are 3 areas that Dr. Brackenhoff, Director of Curriculum Instruction, will be recognizing tonight. And the first area will be the National Math Creative Problem Solving Contest Award, and then that will follow up with the National Math and Science Initiative STEM Star Award, and then the State Achievement Test Highest Possible Score Recognition. So there is really some top-notch recognition here tonight. With that, I'll turn it over to Dr. Brackenhoff.
I'm so excited. This is like, for someone who is a lifelong educator, this is like the Super Bowl of education. When I look out and see all of these champions out there, I'm so excited. So we're going to start with our Noetic Math National Honor Roll. This year we had 243 of Fairborn's top math students participate in the Noetic National Math Creative Problem Solving Contest. Of course, only one student earned the most prestigious award offered by the Noetic organization. She scored in the top 10% of 35,000 plus students nationally. This student scored an almost perfect score on the Noetic test. Please join me in congratulating our National Honor Roll Award winner, Bristol DeWitt.
Oh, we got one do individual, or do you want?
That's a single award.
Let's go.
That's, yeah.
She deserves that
She deserves a
recognition.
photo op.
She's happy, aren't you?
I'm gonna turn this over to Mr. Stiegel for the NIMSY STEM Awards.
Thank you, Dr. Wackenhoff. I would be remiss if I didn't recognize the true leader in the NIMSY Star Awards, getting it all put together and making sure it happens. She wasn't able to be with us tonight, Mrs. Sarah Folk. This year, Fairborn High School was awarded a grant to work with the National Math and Science Initiative, or what we refer to as NIMSY. It's aimed at increasing opportunity and achievement in AP courses in our district. As part of this program, the AP teachers selected students who demonstrated exceptional talent, drive, focus, and willingness to take on challenges for a special award, the NIMSY Star Award. These students show growth in AP coursework, demonstrated leadership, self-advocacy, and commitment in the classroom, and actively engaged in additional online student supports to further prepare for AP success. Tonight, each student is receiving a $500 check to be used for the college of their choice. Please help me in congratulating this year's NIMSY Star students, Aiden Christie, Lydia Collins, and Sarah Irwin.
You just can't cash the check.
Right. Gotta know what you, I can't
Or you
stop.
gotta go back.
I know. Yeah, right? It does.
So right over
Really
to
will.
Our next recognition is for the group of students who have achieved the highest possible score on a state achievement test. Tonight, we are recognizing 24 students who demonstrated, again, the highest possible score on the 2023 state achievement test or end of course exam. Last year, to put this in perspective, we had 11 students, 24 this year. This is quite impressive, as we gave 6,630 tests in this district for state achievement tests. And out of those, we have 24 students who had a perfect score. So, since we have 24, we're gonna do these in groups. And we're gonna start with third grade math. And if I could have, I know Mrs. Wyatt is here, and if Mrs. Roberts and Mrs. Lewis, the teachers, are here, please join us up here. Yay. So beginning with our third grade math students, in Mrs. Roberts' class, we have Amelia Dawson. Amelia's parent, Brianna Riley. And next we have Knox Hempel in Mrs. Roberts' class. These parents, Ashley Stippleman and Daniel Hempel, I'm sure are very proud. We have Grayson Pitstick in Mrs. Roberts' class. His parents helped him get here, Mary Beth and Aaron Pitstick. And last in the third grade math group, we have Andrew Royal, who was in Mrs. Lewis's class, and Andrew's parents, Crystal and Aaron Royal. We'll do our third grade group. So the highest possible score in third grade math is 818.
Let's go behind them.
Now, for third graders, I do have to point out that this is the first grade that students take a state achievement test. So they only had one other experience taking a test, which was their reading test in the fall. So this was the first time they took a state achievement test in math. So congratulations again to those students. Now we'll turn to our fourth grade students, and these students scored a perfect score of 835. And if I have their teachers here, Mrs. Cornwell, Mrs. Shanks, and Mrs. Long, they could come up. We'll start with our first fourth grader, Alana Glover in Mrs. Cornwell's class. Alana's parents are Kaylina and Jeffrey Glove. And then Zane Livers in Mrs. Shank's class. And Zane's parents, Renee and Milton Livers. Next, we have Anastasia Spencer from Mrs. Cornwell's class. And Anastasia's parents are Ashley and Nicholas Spencer. Then we have Eleanor Steiger in Mrs. Moyne's class, Robin Rogers and William Steiger. Rounding out our fourth grade math champions, we have Carson Beckley in Mrs. Shank's class. Carson's parents are Sarah and Ron Beckley. So congratulations to these fourth graders. Congratulations to our fourth grader. One more picture.
You're good. Thank you.
Next, we'll move on to our fifth graders. Mrs. Wyatt just has to stay up here. She's got lots of students tonight. And if we have any of our fifth grade teachers, Mrs. Spiegel, Mr. Seelock, or Mrs. Henry, if you will join us up here. So our fifth graders, the highest possible score in the fifth grade math, this isn't math, this is English Language Arts test, reading test, is 848. So starting our group is Luke Jenkins in Mrs. Spiegel's class. And Luke's parents Michael Jenkins. Joining Luke is Leah Riker, Mr. Seelock's class. And her parents, Dawn and Shane. Matthew Waldrop, Mrs. Henry's class. Matthew's parents, Candace and Anthony Waldrop. And last in our 5th grade ELA group is Macy Weiss in Mrs. Henry's class. And Macy's parents, Jolene and Jeremy Weiss. Congratulations to this group of English students. So while they're doing pictures, the reading test includes many passages that often are multiple pages that students have to read and answer questions about. They also have to write and compare reading passages. So it is a quite rigorous test, and they have done an outstanding job. So now we will move on to 5th grade math, and if we could have, let's see, Mrs. Henry, Mrs. Stevens, are you representing that team? Thank you. 5th grade math students had to score a score of 804, and we will begin with Grace Alexander from Mrs. Henry's class. And a name that we heard earlier, Bristol DeWitt in Mrs. Henry's class. Bristol's parents are Melissa and Matthew DeWitt. And then we have Ian Engel in Mrs. Henry's class. And Ian's parents, Lydia and David Engel. Next we have Truett Fisher in Mrs. Stevens' class. Truett's parents are Jennifer and Nate Fisher. And rounding off our 5th grade math champions, we have Chase Lee in Mrs. Stevens' class. Chase's parents, Mary and Michael Lee. Congratulations to these math champions. Thank you. Now we're going to move on to 6th grade. If Mrs. Stevens and Mrs. Stone are here, we'd like for you to join us. Mrs. Stone has a student that achieved a perfect score in math in 6th grade, and that is Eric Johnson. Eric's parents, Heidi and Mark Johnston, and Eric is the only student in 6th grade to have a perfect math score.
Heidi, did you get your picture?
Oh, we'll get it later.
All right, now we will move to the high school. Mr. Stiegel, Mr. Skidmore, Mr. Ripple, Mrs. Piercy, any of you are here, please join us. We're going to start with our American history students. Now, our social studies department at the high school probably leads the district in achievement test scores every year, and it's no surprise that we have multiple students with perfect scores. So we will start with American history with a perfect score of 800. Jason Brandt from Mr. Skidmore's class. Jason's parents are Catherine and Christopher Brandt. All right, stay up here, Jason. You've got some colleagues joining you. Matthew Drake from Mr. Ripple's class. And Matthew's parents, Brandy and William Drake. And our third perfect score in American history, Emma Miller from Mr. Ripple's class. And her parents, Kristen and Jason Miller.
Bless you.
That is, we're gonna do the other two. We have American government, also in social studies. And our two American government perfect score students are Sophia Bowling in Mrs. Piercy's class. And Sophia's parents, Carol and Thomas Bowling. And one of our students who is a Greene County Career Center student, Alexander Snyder. Congratulate him. These are our high school perfect score in social studies students. Congratulations to all of our students tonight. Thank you for coming.
And I'd like to also say congratulations to all of our students, to our teachers. A lot of great things going on in our classrooms every day here at the Fairborn City Schools. So, you know what, if we could give everybody a round of applause. Next recognition will be our Six Sigma program recognition. Mr. Stiegel will be recognizing teacher Mrs. Kelly Goddard.
All right, this is a pretty big program, so I'll try to be as brief as possible. Here's our business teacher and program leader of Six Sigma, Ms. Gaudette. Lean Six Sigma is a set of management techniques intended to improve management business processes by reducing the probability that an error or defect will occur. Students who successfully complete these courses will earn real-life skills that are recognized throughout the business world, manufacturing, and service industries. The purpose of this program is to also provide students with an alternative pathway to graduation. Students must earn a total of 12 industry credential points, along with the successful completion of the Ohio Means Job Seal in order to fulfill this pathway requirement for graduation. So there are 3 different classes in the whole Lean Six Sigma program. There's a yellow belt industry credential. It is worth 3 points. And in this yellow belt class, students will develop the skills necessary to be an effective team member when using the specific methodologies outlined in Lean Six Sigma. To earn the necessary credentials, students must complete and submit for review an individual improvement project. The leadership excellence goes along with Green Belt. They must also demonstrate the necessary methodologies outlined in Lean Six Sigma. However, this is more team-oriented in the leadership excellence, and it focuses on leadership itself. That also, students also earn 3 industry credentials for that class. And last is the Green Belt. That is, they get 6 industry credential points. Students develop the skills necessary to be an effective team leader when using the specific methodologies outlined in Six Sigma. To earn the necessary credentials, a team must complete, submit for review, receive actual project results, and teacher project approval to become certified green belts. What does this mean for our students? It's about career opportunities. Almost any company or organization in the world now recognizes this certificate as a form of advanced learning and a recognition of an advanced skill set. So we feel like it's really important for the students who do take these courses to have those skills and be ready for the real world when they leave us. So during the first year of this program implementation, 81 of our students earned Leadership Excellence Certification, 73 students earned Yellow Belt Certification, and 32 students earned their Green Belt Certification. I would also again like to recognize Ms. Kelly Gaudette, the Business Teacher and Program Leader, for her accomplishment in earning her Black Belt. What that means, earning a Black Belt shows the professional is well versed in all aspects of Lean Six Sigma, and it also allows Ms. Gaudette to fully approve all projects in the Green Belt certification class. So she no longer has to go through the Lean Six Sigma company maximum potential to get those approved. So the Black Belt project was a very intense project to be certified in, and she did a good job going through that program and can be the one who fully approves all projects. So that is our Lean Six Sigma program, and again, I'm our business teacher, Ms. Gaudette.
Continued excitement and all the recognition that we have here tonight. Congratulations goes to Fairborn Primary Assistant Principal, Mrs. Valerie Herdman. Mrs. Herdman was recently recognized as the Cedarville University Excellent Educator of the Year. We are very proud and honored to have Valerie Herdman as an administrator in the Fairborn City Schools, and we honor her this evening. Thank you for your hard work and dedication to our Fairborn City Schools students and families, and what you do every day for our students. I've said this more than once. Most days I get to work pretty early because I'm an early morning person, but I cannot beat this lady into work. So, again, congratulations for everything that you do for our kids. You have a passion for our kids. You have a work ethic that is second to none. Thank you very much.
Anytime, they will fit any of you, don't just throw him under the bus.
Unless you want to stay in here, school finance finance, your opportunity.
No,
Break my heart.
Where's my friend? I know.
Hello, how are you?
Have a good night. Really?
I want to jump down. Good. I know.
Oh, God, that's not it at all.
Thank you.
Thanks, Betsy, thank you very much.
I don't know who's going. One of us is going, maybe two. But one is going. And I think because she's doing third grade,
Good night, Bill.
so that's her first year. And then one or the other of us might. Yeah. I think, yeah, somebody will be there.
Be cool. Be like.
All right, bye. See ya. Enjoy. How are you?
Pretty good.
You got a table?
Yeah.
It's a fringe benefit. You didn't know that, did you? You too. Bye.
You do. It's not bad.
Good.
I'm glad. Be here anyway, probably.
Last chance, we're still here in 30 seconds. Gonna hear about school finance.
You know, when Chrissy had her, I would hold her and
Right. School finance is like a Russian novel. It's long, it's boring, and everybody dies at the end.
I'll text Chrissy when I get home.
I'll go ahead and get started here in terms of, been updating the Board of Education on the State of Ohio Foundation funding. We first talked about what the governor proposed early on in 2023. Then the House made their proposal, which was pretty good. It was about 2.6 million above what I projected. I projected about $400,000 increase. So they projected about a $3 million increase, so 2.6 better than what we thought. The Senate just dropped their numbers here Tuesday, and so they are lower than the House, but they're more than the governor. Roughly, they're about $800,000 less than the House of Representatives was. They added some things they took away. So right now, between now and June 30th, is the House and the Senate need to have a concurrence. They need to decide on how they solve the differences on their two bills. Then they go back and vote on it, and they send it to the governor for approval. So they have to have this done by June 30th, else the state of Ohio shuts down on July 1. The House numbers were very optimistic. I was very optimistic when the Senate numbers came in. So if there's somewhere in between, it's some good news that the state of Ohio is stepping up a little more to fully fund and keeping that. So I was encouraged. Usually the House is the most conservative. Now in Ohio, it's the Senate. So the Senate to come up with those simulations is still pretty good. So we'll keep you posted, keep our fingers crossed what those final numbers look like. Any questions from the Board of Education? Thank you. If you need me to clear out a room, just give me a call. I hire out.
Next up, Twice a year, we are required by law to give a update with a bullying report here in the Fairborn City Schools. And Mr. Walker will give us that update.
As Mr. Lally said, twice a year, we have to not only make a public report of bullying incidents, but we also have to post it on our website. So Mrs. Gayhart will be putting the new information on the website after this meeting. Bullying is a very misunderstood word and overused in our society today. Because bullying is used for any time kids are saying unkind things to each other. The true definition of bullying and why it has to be investigated is bullying has a specific definition, and that definition means that it is something that a student is targeted, it is something that occurs more than once over time, and the other student is not involved in retaliation, or it's not a two-way conversation, it's a one-way conversation. So therefore, we have to go into a complete report. Those reports, after they are done by administrators in the building, are filed and kept in file in my office, and they follow the public records then request of, not public records, but the destruction of records that when they can be destructed. Last year, we had 2 actual incidents of bullying. This year, we have 7 incidents of bullying. In the first semester, we had 7 incidents reported that were investigated. We had 2 that were actual bullying. In the second semester, we had 9 incidents that were brought forth, and of that, 5 were investigated and found to be bullying. When that occurs, letters have to go to both the bully and to the victim, so it's documented to the parent, and there is a piece of what we are going to do that is put into that letter on how to keep that child safe, or what we're going to do as a restorative measure to ensure that that does not continue. One of the issues with bullying is many times a student or a parent will come to the administration and say, I'm being bullied, and immediately when that happens, the administrator sends to the parent our policy on bullying and an incident report for them to give us information. Regardless of whether that parent gives us the information back or the student gives us detail, we are required to start an investigation to make sure that we have taken a look in the situation. Many times the student will go to the teacher one time and say this incident happened, and the teacher or the principal will take a look at it and assign disciplinary action if warranted. But when it happens again, many times the student does not come back and inform us that it has happened again. So we work very hard in the school to say, if something is happening, we cannot do anything with it if we don't know that it's happening. So that becomes a piece that whenever we have the opportunity, we talk to parents that if you feel that something is happening with your child, we need to know so that we know how to address it and how to investigate it. So we had 16 incidents that were investigated this year, and 7 that actually were actual bullying incidents that will be reported to Ohio Department of Education. Questions?
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Next up, facilities update, Mr. Patrick.
We have a couple of things going on in the summer, if you haven't noticed, around the district. At the primary school, we are still having a discussion about the abatement cost that took place to remove some of the stuff at 5 Points. So we have to resolve that discussion before we can move forward with the storm line that needs to be in place. So we're working on resolving that situation that we currently have. Phase 3B discussions are ongoing. Phase 3B would be parking lots and playgrounds. that would basically be scheduled to start sometime at the end of the 23-24 school year. That work would be completed between June and through July of '24, with parking lots and playgrounds to be installed and completed. The 11-month walkthrough at the intermediate school was completed this week. We have a lot of subcontractors in the building finishing up punch list items and so forth, so majority of that building is ours. So that's an important date. Currently here in this building, we had last week and maybe beginning of this week, we had some roof work taking place like we do every summer. We had approximately a little less than $50,000 worth of roof work taking place. We also have some plumbing work that will be starting here shortly in this building also. The new high school work continues to go well. Concrete's been poured on the stage in the Performing Arts Center, walking track, the roofing material for the arenas on site, and excavation work for the athletic field at the stadium has started this week. With the passage of the bond issue, we have accepted alternates, and valued engineer items that were taken out have been brought back in. Just to remind everyone, with those acceptance of some of those alternates, it has pushed our substantial completion date back from the end of March of '24 to the end of May of '24, which still we're in good shape. Tonight on the agenda, you have the second change order request. Those are some of the alternates and the valued engineered items that were basically originally taken out to make budget. Being added back in, I believe last month we had a change order for about 1.8 million. The one that's on the agenda tonight is 3.9 million. Those are from the alternate list, and if you did not receive a copy of that packet, just let me know. I did bring some extras. Also on your table in front of you is kind of a quick run through of the summer of 2024, looking ahead. It's an extremely busy summer for the district, with moving basically half the students and half the teachers in the district to different buildings, moving equipment, abatements and demos. You heard me talk about the phase 3B at the primary, and I would assume, I wouldn't be surprised if we are not starting to talk about the design and engineering of the middle school. So just wanted to give you a quick heads up of what we're looking forward to next summer. Also then in work session tonight, I have for discussion abatement, demo of Baker, storage facilities, indoor training facilities, and basically just a quick touch upon that future middle school. Any questions? Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
So next on the agenda is budget and finance, 3 items. If we could get a motion and a second, then we could have any discussion.
Second.
Okay, any questions or comments, anything you want to add, Mr. Tyler, to this?
One is a bond resolution to sell the bonds for $24.6 million. We have a meeting, presentation of Moody's tomorrow to establish our rating. We don't anticipate that rating to change. And then the sale of the bonds will take place approximately June 27th. So things are very favorable, it moved along, and a lot of documentation, but it's all falling together.
What's the rate?
We do not know the rate until the sale, but right now we're still within what we put on the ballot, what we assume the rate would be. We haven't had severe market changes that would change. Yep. Mr. McCourt,
Yes.
Mr. Steininger,
Yay.
Ms. Landon,
Yes.
Mrs. Malad,
Yes.
Mr. Browning.
Yes, motion carries. Next is administrative reports and superintendent recommendations, and this actually goes back to the middle of page 9, if you're looking in the packet. Let's go ahead and have a motion and a second, and then any discussion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. On page 7, I wanted to call out that there is one of our cook managers is retiring after 30 years of service, Kathy Griffin. And there's a request, resolution of tribute for 30 years of service with Fairborn City Schools. And I know there's a get-together here tomorrow,
1 to 3.
1 to 3, to honor her. And she's done a great job here, and that's gonna be a loss for us. So, any other comments or questions on anything? Okay, Mr. Feiler?
Mr. Steininger,
Yay.
Mrs. Malad,
Yes.
Ms. Landon,
Yes.
Mr. McCord,
Yes.
Mr. Browning.
Yes, motion carries. Next is gifts and donations. There's really one person, 2 gifts. Emily Geisel, $250 for the FHS Environmental Club, and a $50 Visa card for the March 2024 PD Day. So Emily, thank you very much. With that, we'll go into work session.
Mr. President, we'll have a work session. We anticipate going into executive session after the work session, and after the executive session, adjourning without any further business.
Okay,
So at this time, we'll take a short recess and